Hello, welcome to the Daily Devotion. I'm Kathy Morris, pastor of the Dixon United Methodist Church. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to be sharing in a 21-day prayer challenge. We'll be following John Wesley's covenant prayer. The prayer invites us to reflect upon our calling and purpose in Christ. The prayer helps us remember that God is in charge and that we really need to let Christ lead us. We have several small groups that are going to be following a written study by Chris Folmsby, and the title of that is the Wesley Prayer Challenge. But for our daily devotions, we'll be focusing on different parts of the covenant prayer. For today, we're going to reflect on the opening words of the prayer. I am no longer my own, but thine. These are really hard words when we stop and think about it. Not easy for us to say that we are no longer our own, but God's. We spend a lot of time putting ourselves first, and the notion of surrender scares us. The Apostle Paul understood the difficulty and the goodness of surrender to Christ. Paul had the highest of credentials as a faithful Jew, and yet, when he came into the presence of the living Christ, he was transformed, and he knew that he had to let go. Our Bible reading for today comes from his letter to the Galatians, chapter 2, verses 19 through 20, and I'm reading from the New Revised Standard Version. For through the law I died to the law, so that I might live to God. I have been crucified with Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Now, one of the things that I really notice about this passage is that the focus is not on what is lost. The focus is on what is gained. And what is gained is love. What we gain through our release of our lives into Christ is love. The prolific hymn writer Fanny Crosby wrote the hymn, I am thine, O Lord. These are words that we find in the first verse. I am thine, O Lord. I have heard your voice, and it told your love to me. Let my soul look up with a steadfast faith and be closer drawn to thee. And in the refrain, the words, draw me nearer, nearer, blessed Lord, to the cross where thou hast died. By surrendering to the grace of Christ, we draw closer to his love. For a prayer exercise, what I'd like to suggest that you do is to find a cross and walk toward it. With each step, focus on the power of the cross, that symbol of self-giving love, and feel that power as it draws you closer.